guys, I'm ChezPride, and as of when I'm recording this, yesterday, The Sims 4 got, surprise, surprise, 2 more kits. But these are creator kits, and honestly, I'm actually kind of excited for these because I feel like creator kits are just a little bit better. I mean, in general, I'm not a full-on kit hater like most people. I actually do kind of like the concept of kits. I just wish they would slow down on the production of them just a little bit. But I feel like creator kits are a little bit better than the ones that the EA team, or I guess the Sims team, creates themselves, because they actually reach out to custom content creators that are already used to making content for the game, but they're also at an advantage because they are more of players than the Sims team are, so they actually tend to know what the game is lacking and what spots need to be filled in as far as content. So typically these kits are not only a good promotion for the custom content creators, but the items we get are normally not only better quality, but tend to fill in what we're actually missing in the game, rather than just giving us more of what we already have. And the 2 kits that came out yesterday, especially this one, are no exception to that whatsoever. So I would say about 90% of the time, stereotypically, when we get 2 kits in one day, one is a build mode kit and one is a Crypticsim kit. And that is exactly the pattern that they have followed this time as well. So we got a Crypticsim kit that we will be focusing on this video by Crypticsim. That is a kit that is focused on solely adding makeup into the game. And honestly, we have needed this for so long. I mean, we have gotten some makeup in the game, mostly through free base game updates, or just some that randomly comes in an expansion pack. But this is a kit fully based around makeup, and I feel like that was so needed in the game. Honestly, I have been wanting a makeup kit or a hair kit since kits have been announced and became a thing. So I'm so excited to finally be getting a makeup kit, especially since it is made by a custom content creator. And like I said, we also got a build kit. I actually already did the review for the build kit. Typically, I do the Crypticsim review first, but I was more excited for this one, so I saved it to last because, you know, best for last and whatnot. So before I jump into my game and do a full-on review and pretty much genuine first reaction to this kit, because so far I've been able to avoid most spoilers and only see the preview pictures that the Sims team has put out, thankfully. Sometimes spoilers are hard to avoid on these kits, but so far I've been able to avoid them. But before we jump into the actual game, I just want to show you the Crypticsim creators' actual social media so you can go in and show them a little bit more support, because sadly I just feel like the Sims team doesn't pay them what they deserve. Like, I know they have the creator codes that people can use, which we will get into in a minute, but I just feel like they should be rewarded for their work so much more than they actually are. So I like to go into their social media and kind of just show you what they are like and what else they have made as far as content. So as I've talked about in the past, I'm not really a custom content downloader. It's not that I don't appreciate custom content. Honestly, I think the work that custom content creators do is amazing. Modders are amazing. And I feel like if one, I knew I wouldn't get addicted to it, and 2, if I didn't already have like pretty much all the Sims packs and was afraid that downloading too much custom content once I got obsessed with it would make my game really laggy, even with the good computer I have, then I would probably be more inclined to actually download more custom content. But I am just so paranoid about 1, getting addicted, or 2, it just not being able to work with the amount of packs I have. And I feel like custom content works better for Simmers who don't have a lot of packs. And honestly, that's one of the things I feel like custom content is good for, is when you don't have money for packs. and you're looking for like a specific item and you don't want to download and pay for a whole pack just to get one item. Because, I used to do that in The Sims 3. I would buy a whole pack just for like a couple of items. I feel like custom content is a good way around that. Of course, if you're not playing on console, because obviously console players don't have access to custom content. And that is another reason I think this is so great, is for the people who can't or don't download custom content, is a way for them to get more custom content like items in the game. And typically I show off these custom content creators on their Twitter page just because that's where the Sims team really tags them and promotes them the most. And honestly, most custom content creators promote most of their work on their Twitter page. But even with my lack of knowledge in custom content and custom content creators, I have actually heard of Crypticsim. Crypticsim is well known for her makeup for male and female Sims and all in between. And honestly, from what I hear, she does great work. Just by looking at her profile picture, the makeup on this Sim looks so gorgeous. And even though it doesn't exactly match the game 100%, I think it looks similar enough to where it fits in with the game. And obviously she would have had to use more similar textures to the game when creating for the Sims team. So I'm really excited to see how well this looks in game, like her content. But before I show off the pack, I wanted to show off some of the stuff she was promoting on her page before she released her pack, just some of her actual custom content. So obviously she's been promoting the Essential Glam kit a lot, which is the kit that we will be reviewing in today's video. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. So far, I'm loving it. Honestly, the eyeshadow kind of reminds me of one that's in the game that I'm already obsessed with. So really excited about that. But if we keep scrolling down her page, I mean, she's been getting shout outs because they have been doing a great job. But if we scroll down, there's also this picture or video of her dog, and it's adorable. I love it. But as we scroll down, before she started promoting her kit, she was posting pictures of Sims like showing off her makeup and that have like custom content hair and clothes and skin packs and whatnot. I mean, she also posts memes, which is great. But as you can see, this is some of her actual work. So it is on a masculine Sim. We have some blush here that's meant for masculine Sims. I'm assuming most of this custom content makeup, like the lips and the skin tones and whatnot, are also hers. This is 10 shades of blush. You can see it here on both masculine and feminine Sims. She does great feminine Sim work. I mean, great masculine Sim work too, but her feminine Sims are gorgeous. And see, this is what I mean why I don't download custom content, because this just, like, as pretty as it is, it just doesn't exactly match the game. And I want something a little bit closer in game, which is why I just typically buy the packs, besides the fact that I review them. But see, that, like, some of it I can be like, okay, cool, it looks like it would somewhat fit in the game, but some of it is like this, I just like, it's just so, it's too far not matching with the graphics. But like stuff like this is very subtle and very nice. I think it works very well. So that's just my personal opinion on custom content in general. But as far as custom content goes, I feel like her makeup custom content is honestly gorgeous. Like, honestly, I am very excited to see it transferred into a Sims pack. But if you are going to pick up this pack, I would recommend using their creator code. They're not promoting it, and the other creator didn't really promote their creator code either. I'm not exactly sure why, because up till now, pretty much everyone had been promoting their code, and with EA creator or network people, they typically always have a code. Like, even YouTubers and like well-known content creators have a code, but especially EA creator network people that they create kits and packs with typically always have a code. So I'm not 100% sure why they're not promoting their code, but typically it's just like their username. So like hers would probably be Crypticsim. And I say use a creator code because honestly, like I said earlier, they're not paid enough for their work. So basically, a creator code is a code you put in the promotion box that is typically a user's username. And when you use this, it doesn't give a discount for you, but it gives a percentage of what you buy to whatever creator you put their code in. And you don't have to use a certain creator's code for certain packs, but if a creator creates a kit or works on a pack with the EA team, I feel like you should use their code. I just feel like it's only fair because they only get paid a one-time fee, which I think is stupid. Like, I feel like they should be paid on commission. Honestly, we all know EA money grabbers, so they want them to do the work and get paid once. I mean, it does get their name out there, it gets them well known, and it is good for them in several ways. I just think the payment's kind of shitty, which they do agree to it. At least if we use their creator code, we can give them a little bit of money. So that is just my little rant on that. But now let's go ahead and jump into the game and show off what the actual kit actually has in it. Alright, I finally bought the kit and I finally have time to sit down and look at all the items that are coming in the kit. And I did look at the item count. I didn't look at the list of items, but I did just scroll down this far just to see the item count. And there is 27 items in this kit, which I feel like isn't bad for a kit. Like, I feel like 27 is slightly on the higher item count because most of the time it's between like 24 and 30 as like an average. Sometimes it's a little less or over, but it also depends on what kind of kit and how big the items are in the kit. It depends on, kind of determines on the count. So 27 isn't bad, but considering that it's all makeup, and I would consider that makeup would be small objects, I feel like it should have been more like 29, 30, but I guess 27 is still pretty good. But I do think it's worth mentioning as well as when I bought the kit, I did try using the creator code Crypticsim and it did work. So I don't know why neither one of the creators that came out with kits this time are not promoting their creator codes. Like, I feel like every single time a kit has come out that has been a creator kit, they have pushed their codes so much. At least the creator, not the Sims team. I don't know why the creator's not, which is a little confusing to me, but they do have the code, so it is worth it if you do buy this kit after you watch some reviews and decide if you want to buy it or not, that you use the creator code like I talked about earlier. But for now, let's go ahead and just look at what this little description and this photo has to offer. Now, we did look at this photo when the kits were announced, so we have already kind of gone over everything. Obviously, they're all wearing eyeshadow, new lipstick, there's some highlighter going on here, some blush. So all makeup, all of these hairs are stuff that we already had. So like they advertise, it is a full-on makeup kit. But let's go ahead and read the description of what it has to say this kit comes with. So it says, upgrade your Sims makeup collection with the Sims 4 Essential Glam Kit. Easily transition from subtle daytime looks featuring soft eyeshadows and neutral lips glosses to striking smoky eyeshadows and bold lipstick. Whether it's for date nights, weddings, award ceremonies, or graduation, this kit guarantees that every Sim can showcase their unique style. Created by Crypticsim. Tailored glamour is the key featured. Transform your Sims makeup look in with items like foundation, contour, and highlight, and add unique items like floss, freckles, and beauty marks to complete the look. I wonder if the beauty marks and freckles are going to be under the makeup because they're floss, which is normally fake, or if it's going to be in the actual skin category. I would assume this is all going to be under the makeup category, but I will just double check to make sure. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into Crypticsim and grab some townies from the world so we can go ahead and test this makeup out. So I went ahead and grabbed 4 of the classic Sims 4 townies from the base game because I really wanted to have a couple of different genders, some different skin tones, and just a couple of different face shapes in general. So these are all classic from the Sims 4 base game, but they're definitely different styles and different skin tones. So first we have Summer Holiday, and then we also have Bella Goth. And then, of course, we have Katrina Caliente. And I figured if any of the males from the base game were to wear makeup, it was going to be Don. So we also have Don Lothario. But I figured since the only one out of these Sims that hasn't had an actual makeover since the Sims 4 base game launched is Summer, we will go ahead and show off all the items on Summer and kind of do the review on her. But then I want to go to Dawn and just kind of show off in general how the makeup looks on male Sims, because as you saw when I was showing off their Twitter page, they are kind of known for making masculine and feminine makeup. And even though most of this isn't categorized under male, I still want to see how it looks like on a masculine sim. And then we also just have Katrina and Bella just to try out different looks with the different skin tones. So we will give them quick little glam makeovers as well. But like I said, I went ahead and filtered everything, and we're going to show off everything on Summer. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the skin detail, because surprisingly, the quote folks freckles, so the fake freckles, are actually in the freckles category. So I don't know why they call them fake freckles and then put them in freckle category instead of the makeup. I don't know, but I'm not seeing any other makeup from the kit in the skin details, so I think this is the only one. It's the only one with the little icon next to it, but it is just some basic freckles. There's 3 different levels of deepness to them, and I guess this is kind of why in the patch update we got the freckles, because as you can see, we got them in the pack. So I'm going to give her some light freckles just because I think it's cute on her. And it says there's new hair, but there's not any new hair. I don't know why this is lit up. Like, there's nothing starred in my game that would be a new hair. But literally, I believe everything else is under the makeup category. And I wish they would have fixed the glitching on the categorization of the makeup, because it's still broken to where when you click on just the makeup tab, it only brings up the eyeshadow. So as you can see, it's literally just the eyeshadow, but there is also eyeliner, there is blush, there's a ton of lipstick, and there is some highlighter and contour here. But sadly, there is no eyelashes. I was really hoping to get some new eyelashes in this pack, but apparently not. But I say let's just start with the eyeshadow and work our way down. So we have 6 new eyeshadows, and they all come in a decent amount of swatches. So we have our bright fun eyeshadow, which I think is very fitting for a summer holiday look. But we have it in yellow, we have it in pink, we have it in red, we have it in blue, we have it in purple, we have it in orange, we have it in a lighter pink, a lighter brighter blue, more pastel purple, and a bright green, which these are all fun colors. I just wish it would have been a little bit more in the corner on this side and a little less on the corner on the inside. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion, but maybe that's just because how I wear makeup, so it could just be my fault of my own. But I do think the blue is very fitting for summer holiday. But then we have this eyeshadow, which honestly, this one and this one are the 2 that I was the most excited for when seeing the preview pictures. Oh, that's total summer holiday vibes right there. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some of this. I kind of almost want to make her eyes just ever so slightly more closed. I know this is being her face, but I just want to be able to see the eyeshadow just ever so slightly better. Okay, she looks a little weird now, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll get through this. Alright, but let's look at all the different colors in the eyeshadow. I'm seeing a lot of purples, a lot of browns, a lot of golds and pinks. I don't know, I like the colors in this kit, especially like the fun bright colors. That's really nice. We don't have a lot of nice bright colored makeup, and honestly, I really like the fitting shape on this one. And then we have a classic smoky eye. I do love a smoky eye. This is typically what I do for my own makeup and pretty much have since middle school. So I'm very excited to be getting a nice looking smoky eye. I think the ones that are dark all the way around, like have some dark on the bottom and top, look really nice. I think the lighter ones aren't as bad. Like this isn't as great, but like this, gorgeous. And then this again was one I was really excited for because this is also very similar to one that I really like. I don't think this looks great on Summer with her eye shape. I think this is going to look better on Bella or Katrina, but I do think that the makeup itself is really pretty. I love the highlight of the brightness in the middle. And then we have this, which looks like just like darkness or okay, it's literally just like color in the corner, which I never understood that trend. I do understand it's a trend. I just never understood it. Just putting color in the corner. I don't know why people do that, so I'm not a fan of that one. And then we have just some upper eyelid shadow, which is a little bit of color in the corner, all in some like neutrally sparkle colors. I'm kind of digging that one. It's like a reddish copper sparkle. That's kind of nice. But I think out of all of these, probably this or this was my favorite. But since it's summer holiday, I feel like we should go with summer holiday vibe makeup. And I feel like this is a total summer holiday vibe makeup. And then, like I said, we have 6 new eyeliners, which honestly, we have needed for so long. So I'm actually really happy about that. And they all come in a different combination of colors. So this one is just regular eyeliner with a wing. So it comes in a bunch of browns and blacks. Honestly, the colors almost look all the same to me. I hate to say it, but it does. And then we have this very sharp wing eyeliner, which I really like. And it comes in the regular colors like the other one did, but it also comes in some fun colors. So we have some blue, some green, some pink, some purples, and a white, which I think the white looks really nice on her. And then we have this very subtle eyeshadow, just has a top and bottom line in all the neutral colors. And then we have it even more subtle with just a top eyeliner. So if you're not feeling the bottom eyeliner, there is just a top, which honestly kind of looks nice on her. And then we have the very tiny eyeliner, but it comes in like full on colors. So if you wanted to just straight up put color on your bottom line, you can do that with this one. But I think out of all of them, I like this one the best. Like, I think this is really nice. So we're going to give that one to her. Again, unfortunately, no eyelashes. We do have 3 blushes that come in a ton of colors. So we have this one that's more on this part of the cheek. That's like on the side of the cheek. This is more on the cheekbone and the nose, which honestly has always been kind of a cute look to me to have the blush over the nose. I've never been bold enough to do it myself. And then we also have on the side of the cheek again, but kind of like lower and less makeup. And I think they all come in the same colors, but I'm just going to show you them in all the different swatches on each one. So this one's definitely more darker, more bold, definitely a little bit higher on the cheek than the third one. But that red is intense, man. Intense. All right, and then we have a bit softer of the eyeshadow. Still, or why did I call it eyeshadow? Blush. Now, obviously, it's still a bright blush, like especially in this swatch. But I do think it's more subtle than the last one. And then we have this one, which definitely has a little bit of a lower look. It almost looks like it has a little bit of highlighter on the top of the cheek on some of the swatches, which I think is really nice. I'm not the biggest fan of any of this blush, but I think this one's my favorite in like the super soft tones. So maybe like this neutral soft tone kind of gives a nice look on her. And then, of course, we have the lipstick, which is honestly probably the main attraction to this pack. So we have 8 different lipsticks, a ton of swatches. So we have this kind of glossy, neutral lip with a bunch of pinks and reds. This, honestly, like this one and this one both give summer holiday vibes. And then we have this red lip. It comes in kind of a shiny swatch. I kind of like there's just like a little shimmer on it. It's not too much shimmer. And then this is probably what we're going to use for Bella Goth. This or the last one. But this totally gives me Bella Goth vibes. I don't know how I feel about it on Summer. It kind of makes her lips look pouty. Well, actually, in that swatch, it looks really nice on her. I like it in the lighter swatches, but in the like dark, bold swatches, it just makes your lips look a little too pouty. And then we have this super shiny, glossy, like two-toned lip, which honestly, love. Like, this is really nice. We don't really have anything of this nice quality in like shiny lip glosses, so this is really nice to have. Then we have a more matte, neutral look, definitely a more dark look on most of them. There is some light tones, but most of them are quite dark. And then the super shiny lip, which honestly, I think this one is probably my favorite. I think this is really nice. Like this one and this one, I believe, are both just really nice in my opinion. Maybe I'll give Summer this one because this kind of gives the look of her old lipstick. And then we have the face paint, which is basically just highlighter and contour. So we have this highlighter right here. Looks like it goes on the cheek, the forehead, and over the nose and cheekbones. And then we have this. Oh, so this is where the freckles or the beauty marks are. I wonder why they put the beauty marks here and the freckles in the skin category. If I hadn't thought to look, I would have never honestly guessed that the freckles would have been in the regular beauty marks instead of the makeup. For some reason it is, but the actual beauty marks are in the makeup. So I don't know. Weird to me, but whatever. I'm not going to give her any beauty marks though. I think I'm going to save that for Bella, honestly. And then we have this highlighter that's like extreme cheek highlighter. Like this is extreme highlighter. And then this is more of like a like very subtle highlighter, which honestly I think is a little bit better. I kind of like it in the blue for Summer because it kind of matches her eyeshadow. I don't know, I like it. She gives very shiny vibes. And honestly, I feel like we could go with like a down do for her with this new makeover. Like, I know this is not a part of the kit, but maybe like this. I could totally see her having this hair. So let's give her that hair. She's cute. Okay, but that is all the makeup, and it is all under the feminine category. If you do go to the masculine category, which we will here on Dawn, unfortunately, the only makeup that counts as masculine is the contour and highlight. So we will, for these categories, have to take off the masculine filter to kind of see it. So it makes me a little scared to see how it's going to look on the male because it's not technically meant for males. But let's see how well it transfers over. So we have the brighter color. I'm not going to go through all the swatches on these, but it honestly looks a little bit nicer on that one. Okay, they actually look good on the males. Like, they actually look decent on masculine faces as well. At least the eyeshadows do. Even on Dawn's, like, weirdly shaped eyes, I think it actually looks kind of nice. Honestly, I still don't get the corner makeup. But everything else honestly looks really nice. I actually really like this on Dawn. I think this brings out his eyes really nicely. And then we have the eyeliner. So this is kind of what this first one looks like on the male. This looks like on the masculine. The third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one. Honestly, I think the first eyeliner was the one that fit him the most. I think that looks really nice on him. Again, no eyelashes for any category. We have the cheeks. So we have this on him, which is over the nose and the lower cheek. Honestly, this first one looked really nice. Like, can we get in more brown tone maybe? Like a darker, yeah, like that almost. That looks really nice. And then we have the lipstick. So I think on Dawn, we probably won't go with a shiny lip. I feel like he would be more matte, but like very neutral. Is that shiny? That looks shiny. Is there a matte that's not? Yeah, like that. That looks like it was his actual skin tone, which I like in a lipstick. I like when the lipstick looks very similar to your skin, and I think that looks good on him. And then, of course, we have what actually counts as the masculine category, which is the highlighters and whatnot. So we have this as the highlighters. Of course, we also have the beauty marks, but we have this highlighter. Honestly, it looks better on him than it did Summer. I guess because his skin's a bit darker. Honestly, that looks gorgeous. And then this little highlighter moment that we ended up using on Summer. I think I like the highlighter under the eyes on him, though. I think that's really nice. And then, of course, we have the beauty marks that are supposed to, for some reason, be in the makeup instead of the face category. But I'm going to give him a little bit highlighter under the eye. I think that looks good on him. And with that, I think that's his look. If you did go into the face category and go into skin details, this little freckle skin detail is here too, but I don't think he would have freckles. But that is Dawn's makeover. So now let's just kind of experiment with what makeup we have found on Katrina and Bella. I think we're going to say Bella till last because I'm most excited to do Bella. But let's go ahead. I'm going to take off all of Katrina's makeup. Wow, she actually kind of looks different. Like her lips look completely different. But actually, let's go ahead and start with the lips. Speaking of that, so she's wearing like a tan outfit with like a green and gold necklace. So maybe something kind of neutral, but just shiny. Like this is kind of fitting. It kind of fits her hair and her top. It's kind of like a combination of the two. Let's do some eyeshadow. She would definitely have this. Like, this is totally Katrina vibes. Let's see. What? Honestly, I'm thinking like the pink, honestly, would fit her really well. And then she'd probably have a pretty bold eyeliner. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe like, I'm deciding between like this or this. I think this is more fancy, which is her style. So we'll go with that. Cheek wise, I think I've given these. Are these the two I've used? I know I used this one in Summer. I can't remember I used this one or this one on Dawn. Let me check. Hold on. Because I want to use a different one that I used on Dawn. Which blush should I give him? I gave him the first one. Okay. So we're going to give her the third one just to play around with the different looks we have. So we'll give her this one, maybe do it in like a bright, dark pink tone, maybe like that. And then I think we should give her some highlighter, like this highlighter, since we haven't used this one on this sim yet. It has very basic swatches. There's only 4 swatches, but we haven't used it yet, so we're going to use it on her. Like I said, I'm going to save the beauty marks for Bella because she already has a beauty mark, so I think that will be her look. Honestly though, I kind of want to give her different eyebrows. I know like that's not the point of this, but doesn't she look so much better with those eyebrows? I'm just saying. And of course, my favorite is last, Bella. So honestly, I don't think I've ever just completely taken off her makeup. So, oh, she's really pretty without makeup. No, I like her without makeup. Okay. But again, I'm going to start with her lip first because I feel like Bella either has to have this or this. I'm almost feeling like a super dark shiny lip. Like I feel like that's kind of Bella's vibe. Maybe like this brownish red shiny lip. I feel like it's really Bella's vibe. And then let's see, I think the smoky eye would have to be it. I mean, we also have the colorful eye, which we could do. I do like that on her, but I'm thinking maybe just the straight up smoky eye with a little bit of a red tone. Looks really good with her red dress. We'll do a little bit less of an intense eyeliner than we did for the other Sims. Maybe we can give her just the top eyeliner, considering that her eyeshadow already pretty much has like the smoky eye under it. I know we're supposed to be showing off stuff in this kit, but I really want to give her eyelashes. I feel like Bella deserves some eyelashes. So I'm going to use I could at least use the ones from base game, I guess. I don't have to use the ones from Love Struck that I'm obsessed with. So I can just give her some black eyelashes from the base game. And then her cheeks. We've already used all of these, so I can kind of just use whichever one I want. Kind of thinking this one, though. I think this looks nice on her. And then I said we would give her beauty marks. So do we want to give her this one, this one? Let's see, which one do we want to give her? What looks Bella? Honestly, I kind of like the second one. Like, it kind of just has some small ones all over her face, which I think looks really nice. So I think this is going to be Bella's makeover. And honestly, I kind of want to see if this new look goes well with her old hair. Isn't this her old hair? I actually kind of do like that. Let's see, hold on. But do I like... I don't know. I always loved Bella's old hair, so I think I might give it back to her just for this makeover. But with that is, I believe, everything in the kit. It was technically 27 items, but I feel like it was less. It seemed like less, but they all had a lot of swatches, which I really appreciate. Like, I really like the quality. I really like the swatches. Even though it said it was 27 items, it didn't feel like 27 items. I don't think I'm missing anything. Like, I'm pretty sure it didn't come with like makeup or accessories or hats or hair or anything like that. I literally think it was just makeup and the skin details. I wish it felt like more, even though I feel like technically it was a decent amount of content. It just didn't feel like it because it was all makeup and all small items. But that's just my personal opinion. As an actual kit and the actual items and the quality of the items, I do think this is a really good kit. Like I said, my literal only problem with this kit is, one, you have to turn off the masculine filter to get to most of the makeup, because I was kind of hoping they wouldn't do that with this. And two, that it just doesn't feel like as much as it is because they're all small items. But the quality of the items, like most of them are fantastic. Like, I think the actual creator did a good job on the actual items. So I think if you're looking for some new makeup in the game and you don't mind spending $5, this is probably worth it. But on that note, I'm going to end this video here. So I hope you enjoyed this video and my build kit review video. If you haven't checked that out, it did come out a little bit before this video. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff because you guys are awesome people. I'll see you next time. All right, bye!